going off of number 6, so based on the fact that we know that number 6 is in storage, if we assume that, so bless her, in Hikari's death, if we assume that the number 4 weapon wasn't destroyed in battle, where is it? Do you think it could be in storage too? My theory is that, well, one theory I have is that it could be being kept safe by Isao himself, you know, because it was his wife's suit. It could be being kept safe for someone like Kikoru to one day wield. And, you know, they for one, the reason why I think this is, one, they look alike for a start, mother like daughter. And now that in that latest chapter, we've had comments on the fact that she seems more and more like her mother on the battlefield. I almost feel like that's a bit of foreshadowing for what's to come. I don't know what you think about that.
I'd imagine so. I can see it being foreshadowing. Kikoru has an axe and her mom had like a pole arm of some kind. I can't remember what you called it.
Oh, like a halberd.
Yeah. But I can... the mangaka is definitely setting something along those lines up. I don't know where it would be. If it's not in cold storage, then I could definitely see Aizawa taking it for like sentimental reasons and like passing it along like on the death, like, you know, go to the basement, you know, here's the key, it's for you,
for sure,
type situation. I don't want him to die. I really do like him.
Yeah, but I think I was talking about this with Betty at one point, how Isao's one of those characters who I've like fallen in love with, but the guy is definitely going to die at some point in this series.
He's definitely a character development death type of character.
Yeah, exactly. Like the way this writer works, just like, it's just telling me that he's setting up this character for a really dramatic death.
Yeah, I mean, they came out this chapter, he's already like, you know, 60 plus, full head of gray hair, talking about, you know, you shaving time off your life. Yeah. And I was like, that battle was almost completely unnecessary. Like Narumi could have done it. I think he could have done it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. There's so... I feel like when his death happens, it will have to be, in order for it to be done well, it will have to be so, not necessarily huge, but so impactful, because it will have to heavily impact those closest to him. And right now, that's going to be Narumi, Kikoru, and even Kafka now. And I feel like those three, especially, would have to really benefit from his death in some way. Like you said, there'll be a lot of character development from that.
It would be, and I'm trying to think, it's probably way too early, because number 9 isn't a threat I can see him having to jump in on.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if he died anytime soon. Like, I feel like the time's not now.
Well, I had 2 theories for how the numbered weapons whole situation could go. The first would be, if Kafka can't resolve this whole situation of him not being able to fully transform, I can see him having the strength to be able to wield a numbered weapon, whichever one that might be. Maybe it might be 6, just because no one can handle it. And given, you know, he is a humanoid kaiju, I think his body is reinforced enough to be able to handle that type of strength.
Okay, yeah.
If not that, I'm under the impression that the kaiju number 9 that we're seeing now is also, like, all of the ones that are in front of Kikoru and Kafka are clones, and the real number 9 might be at the Defense Force base trying to get the numbered weapons into his possession. And if he is somehow able to use his ability to revive dead kaiju, I don't know if there's like a time frame where he has to get to them, but he has the ability. If he's able to reverse engineer the weapons, he could potentially make an army of dead kaiju. And
okay, so you saying that, like, my instant fear, if that was true, would be number 6.
Exactly.
Purely based off of the you know, the carnage that we've heard that it caused. That would just be catastrophic.
Aizawa, as far as we know, well, it was said that he was the previous strongest the Defense Force had ever known in the history of it.
Right.
He's not at that level right now, but if he was even holding back like 8% against Kafka, because, you know, he was pulling his punches. We saw the whole the internal dialogue with Kikoru.
Yeah.
If he was holding back even a percentage, if number 6 is revived and Kikoru is out there, like, there's nothing stopping this man from taking every weapon in there and going like Zoro with 3 swords and some gauntlets, trying to exact revenge and save his daughter.
No, I can see that, man. Dude gets strapped up.
It's definitely a possibility.
Yeah. I just think, you know, the idea that the number 4 is still available is I feel almost quite important, because they don't mention that it was destroyed or anything like that. And I feel like, it would be easy to just assume that it's gone and it was gone with Hikari. But I feel like there's a lot they could do with keeping it around for Kikoru. And to me, that would be really cool. I don't know if anyone else would agree with that. I don't know if they'd find it cheesy. But for me, I feel like that would be really, really cool. And, you'd get a really dope moment from the time when she has that handed down to her, whether it's in a really dire time or not. But just that moment when it's handed down to her could be really powerful.
Extremely. I mean, she'd be on an entirely different level of combat. What do we even know what her current fortitude is? Like, I don't think they've updated us.
Her combat potential? I don't think so. I don't see. She's improved by leaps and bounds, and in the latest chapter, they've mentioned how her skill seems to have rapidly increased. But I still feel like she's kind of, leagues beyond captain level. So I still don't think she's anywhere. She couldn't hold a candle to Narumi or Mina. But I do think she has more than the potential to get there.
I can see it. I can see Kikoru getting a numbered weapon. Reno is on track, I would definitely say. Definitely not as fast as Kikoru though, but I can see Reno potentially getting one if more Daikaiju were to pop up.
Yeah, I mean, as we were discussing, there's a lot of theories around Reno. We won't get into that on this video, but yeah, I could definitely, because they've made a lot of points about him and his potential in the earlier chapters and showing that he's definitely got what it takes to go far. So, if we were just looking at characters that could potentially wield numbered weapons in the future, he's definitely up there, no doubt. Just to finish off then, there's the last thing I want to talk about. So, finally, if we assume that number 10 is actually dead, if we assume that Kaiju number 10 is actually dead, what do you think? I mentioned this to you before. What do you think about a numbered weapon being made from it? And if there was a numbered weapon made from Kaiju number 10, who do you think it could go to?
Oh man, the group we have is so young. What's that man's name? The one who's like a special agent, the black guy. Kino, Kino or something like that. He's the real big dude. He's the only one who didn't go to school, but he's like real strong and solid. I can see
out of the rookies, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know who else it would. Because we don't know that many captains. We haven't seen second division yet.
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at the broad scope of things, there's a lot of divisions we haven't seen, and there's also a lot of rookies we haven't seen.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know who. I can see gauntlets being created from him.
You can see gauntlets.
Because I mean, he's just brawling.
Oh yeah, he's a big dude. Yeah, and he was just pure. He was all about the fight, just pure rage. Like he didn't have any other thoughts in his head really, other than just kicking some ass.
And he can make bombs. Like not only is he strong, he can do explosions. He has matter manipulation at his ability.
The dude was just about pure destruction.
Really, he had eyes everywhere. Like really a tough battle.
Yeah.
I think wings would be too far out of the question, but I'm going off the wyvern he had under his control.
No, dude, like it's all just theory. go, come up with whatever theories you want, man.
A mace, a mace could be used.
Mace, yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be. I'm more of a pole arm type of weapon person myself.
Yeah.
A Basento, definitely. I don't know.
There's so many places you could go with it for sure.
I know, because if he is dead, it would be a really interesting part that we could see the actual process for creating a weapon.
Oh yeah, that would be quite cool actually if they showed it.
Yeah, and what it actually goes through, the route that they actually want to take with them, because I forgot all the options. They had biological weapon, they had standard weapon, and like a third option, but I can't remember what that third option was to be turned into. I'm gonna say the big rookie. If anybody was to get it, it would probably be him.
He's got a look.
What about you?
He's got a look about him. All right, so here's what I think. Personally, I'm going more for the I don't know if I'd say the more obvious, but that might just be to me. This could be completely not obvious to anyone. But if I was just thinking about how I would personally write it, theory-wise, if I assume number 10's dead and they make a numbered weapon out of it, whether I think this is the right decision or not, I feel like it should go to Hoshina.
Really?
Even though he's a vice captain, we know that he's extremely powerful. He can unleash quite a high amount of his combat potential, and based on the backstory that we've had from him and the development that we've seen there's still so much room for development. he went through a lot when it came to number 10 and sort of, you know, Kaiju number 8 and the betrayal he probably felt between Kafka being Kaiju number 8. We still haven't seen him since after that situation. And I just personally feel like the man went through so much during that fight that he just fucking deserves it after what he went through. Like, the guy just got absolutely clapped. Like, he put up a great fight and he got there in the end, but he did not, like, he took some hits, man. He took some hits. And
he was devastated.
Yeah, I just feel like because we haven't seen anything about 10 since that fight, I feel like if they did want to make a numbered weapon, they could leave it till much further in the manga without ever mentioning it, and then Hoshina could just, you know, turn up when needed with that numbered weapon. Like, it could just be done at a much later date. But I do think that in order for it to get there, Hoshina would have to sort of go through some more development or something, because I feel like anyone with numbered weapons would have to be like captain level, personally.
I can see him getting it. Vice Captain Hoshina's like that special exception to the rule, only because we had all those flashbacks of people telling him that it wasn't that he wasn't good. I mean, he can't use a blaster and he's really trash at that. Yeah. But he was, you know, it was equal in his swordsmanship. Mm-hmm. So I would argue that he could possibly be captain level now. Yeah.
But it's just that he's very, very special. Like, he's very specific, very specialized.
He had him when he was small.
Exactly.
Like, he was working.
He's been training. For my assumption, he's been training his whole life. Like, he comes from a family that have, you know, were blade specialists. So, I mean, that's the other thing is I feel like, so if we did assume that it went to Hoshina, it would definitely be the numbered weapon would definitely be a bladed weapon. It would just be cool to see whether it would be dual blades again, or whether he would end up with more like a single blade, more like a samurai sword, or even maybe just a larger like greatsword or something like that. We've seen from the manga that he is a blade specialist, so that gives me the impression that he can use any bladed weapon to a masterful degree. I have no doubt about that personally. So I don't think he has to be, you know, put in a box that he can only use dual blades. I would imagine he can use any bladed weapon as a master. So yeah, personally, that's my theory on number 10 and a possible number 10 weapon, and that's also who I'd want it to go to, but I feel like that's very personal to me as a choice.
Oh no, if it has to go to somebody, it needs to go, especially with the rising threat, it needs to go to a captain or a vice captain, assuming they already don't like have one. You know, he might have a briefcase. Everybody's
got that briefcase waiting for him, man. Like, that's going to be the thing now in the manga, isn't it? Like, when we see just a very big looking briefcase turn up, we're just going to be like, oh shit, that's a numbered weapon.
Grim, I'm trying to tell you, I know we got a time difference, but if any chapter in the next like 4 chapters, if Hoshina, Mina, Narumi, if any of them pull out a briefcase, I'm sorry for whatever time I'm gonna call you on Discord.
Do it. We can freak out together.
It's a briefcase.
Oh man. Okay, so I mean, that's all I really wanted to talk about today. I don't know if there's anything else you want to touch on before we wrap this up.
I guess your thoughts on these are like Japan's numbered weapons, but they talked about that other country and human to kaiju transplant, but like in a sense, would you consider that country's weapon system?
That is a very good question, actually.
Because the whole humanoid kaijus are just kaiju to tissue human transplant in a sense. I'm just trying to connect the dots and pick up these breadcrumbs, but if nothing else, that's all I got.
No, I think you're on the right train of thought there, because the way they fight and the way they do things, you know, internationally separate from Japan, are probably both similar and completely different at the same time. So, you know, thinking about how Japan's numbered weapon system might be completely different is quite a good way of looking at it. We could assume that other countries do it the same way, but if we look at this country, you know, with the kaiju to human tissue transplant, we could assume that they might not have a numbered weapon system like that, and everything is done through their kind of probably really sketchy like bioengineering, and that could be, you know, how they create their strength and their force and their technology. So yeah, I like that, man. That's cool. I almost feel like you could do a whole other video just discussing that.
Oh, I just need like one more piece of information in the manga. He's like, give me something to go on, please.
I'll wait for that moment then, man. We'll have to hook up.
Absolutely.
All right then, so I think that's going to do it for this video today. It's been a pleasure talking about Kaiju number 8, as it always is, and specifically these theories around the numbered weapons. I want to thank Anime Ramble for joining me today. It has been awesome. I'm really enjoying talking to you about stuff like this, dude. So yeah, thank you for coming along.
Thank you for having me, man. And anytime you want to talk about Kaiju number 8 or any other manga, I'm here. Awesome. And if you haven't, subscribe to Grimm's channel. If you like the bird, come through, subscribe to Anime Ramble. It's always a good time.
Yeah, definitely. You know, Anime Ramble makes some absolutely amazing content, so please head over to his channel and chuck him a sub. And yeah, hopefully you'll be hearing more from us again in the future. But for now, thanks for joining, and we'll catch you next time. See ya.